Hello and welcome back to another Total OS chat for this Sunday, March 17th. Let me turn down the Weather Channel volume. Anyway, welcome and happy St. Patty's Day. This is the luck of the Irish. Do we have any Irish people here on the panel?
Mostly English. Cats of Irish. Somewhere in there, somewhere, bro.
Okay, so Sam's a little bit Daniel. You a little bit Irish, or
If I have any Irish in me, I don't know where it is.
okay? And out there, I don't think Steve is.
I have like five.
Austrian and Polish.
Okay, of Austria, bro. Arnold.
6 different strains of European.
Anyway, happy St. Patty's Day. So, well, today's chat, we'll talk a little bit about what we mentioned last night. We'll talk a little bit about the Linux desktop and how it may be dead, at least for the masses. We do have Daniel, Sam, and Steve, my returning champions, on the panel for today.
Hey, I'm the noob.
That's okay. That's what this. Yeah, you know, we're not that much brighter either.
I was a
Sam,
noob too less than a year ago.
Excuse me. All right, so welcome everybody here in the chat room. Check your emails. Those of you who are on PayPal or Patreon, check your emails. The invitations have been sent. A little bit of late notice for this. I got done on the call, Skype call with our friend Stephanie. I'm going to try to convince her. I think I may have convinced her, if she's not busy, to do a little mini concert for us next weekend since it's my birthday. Maybe either, thank you. So either we'll try to do a live or maybe as a recording, and we'll just do a show and I'll play it for our friends here on the channel. So she says hello, and she's hoping to do another concert for us live maybe this summer. We shall see. All right, so the Linux desktop, Google makes an announcement. They're cutting back on their Google Hardware Create division, I believe it's called. They're going to be reassigning employees or whatever. I don't like what I read. Hello, Ben. I don't like what I read about what Google is doing. Google was one of the major players, or could have been a major player, for a national Linux desktop among Amazon and Microsoft and others. That still may be in their future plans. I don't like what I read. I've seen that. I've heard that song before, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, the Linux desktop is not dead for us users, for us geeks, obviously. Linux is everywhere, but not on the desktop, meaning you cannot walk into a store, pick one up, take it home, try it, see if you like it. That's what I was getting at. So if Google is out of the picture, okay, Amazon, Microsoft, Joe's Barbershop, I mean, I don't know. But Ben, I know you're messing. What are you messing with now? Mac?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't see Apple creating a national Linux desktop, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm on my MacBook Pro right now, and like I said before, these machines are meant to run OS 10. They're meant to run Mac OS. They're not meant to run Linux.
Right.
I mean, sure, even if we had a national Linux desktop standard, there's no way in the world these computers could run Linux properly. I mean, there's too many power management issues, too much, etc. And another thing, this Dell laptop in front of me, it has dual Optimus graphics on it, and while there are fixes, to Optimus to get it to work on Linux, it drives me loopy. I mean, I just don't know what the heck I'm doing with Optimus. It's best.
Well, that's why we need a machine built from scratch with Linux pre-installed, pre-tested out of the box, as if you were buying a Dell or a Mac or whatever. We already have a national standard Linux laptop and Chromebooks, starting at $200, and they're just as stable as $1,000 Pixelbook, from what I read. That's amazing achievement. So it can be done, as far as a laptop anyway.
Yeah.
Daniel, what do you think, Dan?
Well, I have lots of thoughts, believe it or not, on this. Over the years, especially the last 10 years, I've been noticing companies are like discontinuing, cheesing down products that they normally have in their product line. Like, let's take a simple thing like socks. I used to be able to get socks that fit my 10.5 size foot you know, and they used to fit really well when you got the bag 6 to 12 size. And now you buy the 6 to 12 size, I darn near need a shoehorn to put them on my feet. So it's like they shrunk the socks on purpose to save on material.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to buy these Wolverine work shoes with a steel toe in them faithfully from Myers for years. They were about $100. They lasted a while. They discontinued them. Can't find them no more. So now I got to find some other place where I can get a comfortable work shoe. I mean, I can go on and on list of things, tools that I use for work, the bags and stuff, all gone. I got to find new bags and stuff to put my tools in. Because, you know, you get a tool bag, it's got pockets in it to put just the right stuff you use all the time in. You get used to that position in that bag where that tool's at. And, you know, then it just screws up your whole life when you got to find a different thing to do your job with.
So does everything come out of China that's not quite the way it used to be? It seems that way.
Yeah, you know, and you know, when you're dealing with the desktop, remember back in the Windows 95 days, desktops were the thing because laptops were extremely expensive. So first choice was always to get a laptop. And yeah, they took up a lot of room. The case and all the parts and everything had been pre-designed and developed by IBM, and everyone else just copied them. And as time went on, you know, these millennials went out on their own. They can't afford a full-size house, so they have to get a studio or something a little bigger, especially in inner cities where they are working or going to school. And a laptop is their default sized thing, or a tablet. So, you know, there's kind of a little history on, and the laptops have come down in price where they're comparable to the desktops.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more affordable choices now, except a National Linux desktop. We have the Chromebooks that are $200 and up, and that's fine with Chrome OS, but I would like to see a full-fledged Linux desktop with Ubuntu or Linux Mint or whatever. Walk into a store, take it home, try it out, see how much faster. You know, when I was talking with Stephanie, she says every time she does the updates on her Windows machine, she has to reinstall her graphics drivers.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like, really? And she's busy, you know, writing songs for herself and this and working for other folks. I mean, it's time consuming. She has no time for that, you know. So
keep in mind when you have a desktop too, people often don't include the fact you have to buy a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And it's all included in the laptop.
That's true. That's true. Sam, what say you?
Well, I'm from experience. I can tell you that going from my 92-year-old dad, who in the early 2000s would not get on the internet because viruses were going to steal everything. I mean, and he couldn't even figure out how to reply to my granddaughters when they'd send them emails. The past year, his hearing got really bad. He's almost totally deaf. Couldn't talk to him on the phone. So I hooked him up with some Wi-Fi. Just being able to pirate the Xfinity Wi-Fi, just get a range booster extender, siphon it off his neighbors because he didn't have internet.
Okay.
And put up a little like repeater in the house. Got him a $250 Chromebook. I actually made him up some instructions, printed out some stuff online, and all of a sudden, here's this guy who's 92 years old. Figure out how to use it. He's lost without it now.
Wow.
He says it's his contact to the outside world. And if he can do it, if you get something that's standard, Linux could become very popular.
It's a wonderful story.
It's wonderful. So again, we have Windows 10 that a lot of people, it would seem, are not too happy with the way things are being run on it, updates. And I mentioned Stephanie's problem. We have the choice of going to an expensive Apple computer, but there's nothing in between. Where's that 98% of Windows users, who want an affordable lot, who don't need to spend $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 on a Mac. If you're a professional singer like our friend, okay, you need the kind of the hardware and the digital audio workstation that DAWs call for the, for the music. But most of us don't need that. We want that machine in between. You can walk into a store, $400 sweet spot. Take it home, try it out, and you can see, yes, the Linux has gotten easier. And I'm not seeing that desktop or any news or any company wanting to build it. I know, Steve, you'd love your Peppermint, so what say you?
You know, I've been window free for over a year and a half. I have to keep up with it because of my wife and son, but I have no need for it. I had a gentleman that was on first time on the stream this morning. He was a window user and was curious about Linux, and everybody in the room kind of helped direct him on his way, and hopefully he gives it a try. But the point being is it's really not that hard, and if they did come up with a standard, especially the operating the hardware, to where there's no problems whatsoever, it'll be pretty good, because we can go back and talk about all the politics of how Windows ended up being on our machines in the first place, right? A lot of underhanded stuff and that. The only reason why Windows leads right now is because of kind of gaming and that, but that because all the developers, because Windows was the main focus, all the drivers, all the stuff, and that went towards Windows. If at any time Linux might have come in more into the forefront in the past, things might be a little bit different. But it's, we're at a point now where, yes, it could happen, but there's still that mindset, well, it's just too difficult, it's too fragmented, it's too, which one do you pick, yada, yada, yada. That kind of makes it difficult.
Do you think that the Google News is an indication that right now market forces just don't care about a national Linux desktop?
I would say definitely not. I mean, there's nothing, because there's no one company, and Canonical could probably easily do it, that is saying, hey, our stuff is as good, if maybe not some cases better, than Windows. And work with companies to put it on their systems. Yes, you got your System 76, you got a division of Dell, I think even some HP, but it's not enough. It's not in the stores.
Yeah.
That is the big problem.
Well, Ansem says there are still too many distros. Well, that's why you would just pick the one for NAS. You just pick the one national desktop, whatever it's based on. It could be based off of Gentoo. Chromebooks are based off of Gentoo, but they're easy to use, right? That's why you want one distribution, pre-built, pre-packaged, ready to go, ready to be sold at $400. Click and go, just like Windows or Apple. You click and go. You don't have to learn the terminal. I often joke my favorite terminal is the Orlando International Airport.
Yeah, there you go.
But there are too many distros. For beginners, it isn't that bad for us because we sift through it. That's
we have
why
a
you have one.
checklist, which ones are most supported and which ones
There
just
you
have
go.
one or two developers trying to throw together something for us.
There you go. But if the mom and pops don't have time to tinker with hundreds or thousands of offshoots, they walk into a store, they see it, updates on Ubuntu, bam, done. Updates on Windows, paint the house and come back, good to go. Right? That's how I see it. But again, the Google News was, maybe I should not have been surprised, but it's disappointing.
My experience with that kind of news sometimes leads to the company wants to free up some assets and money to acquire other companies. And you might find that they might buy something or somebody, and they're just trying to get their money all aligned in that direction.
I don't think we're being told the entire story on that Google thing.
No, we're not.
I don't think so. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. You cannot cut your way to the top.
Well, you know how many buyouts and stuff have been going on over the past
I
couple
know.
of years. AT&T bought DirecTV and everything. It's like all this stuff is heading towards a black hole of maybe 3 companies owning everything on the planet.
I know. It is like it is
Thank
like
God we have laws against monopolies on the books.
yeah, really, yeah. Run by a monopoly. Haha. Yeah, it is like a scene out of the Gulf. Oh, these freaking families are taking over. Look at these monopolies, But no.
And the government's afraid to break them up because they're getting kickbacks from all of them.
I know.
What? Politicians are corrupt?
I know.
Where did this
And
happen?
that's last decade's news.
Yeah. Well, and that depends, because in the retail world, Walgreens attempted to buy all Rite Aid, and FTC said, "Oh no, you can only buy half of them." So,
okay.
They stepped in there, so maybe there was no kickback for them there.
Honestly, at this point, I don't care who puts out the Linux that who buy. Just get it out there, get it to Matt, put it in their hands, put it in their hands. Let them try it, touch it, and see what is going on. But that's my feelings about it. So
Anselm says Google buying Canonical. Now, that would be interesting.
Then I guess it also comes down to what group or groups of people ultimately decide, okay, this is the distro we want to use.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, the Fedora that I installed is very polished. I mean, I can see that. I mean, that it even though I'm not a big GNOME fan, but and I don't know, I can't tell what the difference is between Fedora's GNOME and Google's GNOME. It just looks, Google's, Ubuntu's GNOME. It looks nice. It's polished. It's really sweet, but because of their open source philosophy, half the drivers are missing for codexes and all that.
Fedora is part of the Red Hat team's issues.
Yeah.
They own that project.
Yeah.
I'm running Mint 19.1 Cinnamon, and I've got Salient OS on it. And other than, having to use some different terminology in the terminal between both of them, actually both of them run pretty much the same.
Again, if we have one pre-built, a desktop pre-built that eliminates all of the guesswork for newbies, it's pre-packaged, pre-tested with those apps, with that distribution, ready to go, out of the box. You put a 5-year guaranteed updates, 1-year support warranty on a 30-day money-back guarantee. Yes, you can do a lot in Linux that you could in Windows. Some things you can't. Put like an intro video on it. This is what this is all about. 30-day money-back guarantee. Show them the update process between Microsoft and a Linux machine. And they're going to think you're fake. They think, that's fake. That it can't be. Look how fast that was. Well, show them again. I think it'll sell.
Although the update in Fedora, one of the things I was really surprised it doesn't run like Ubuntu Updater, and that it tells you once everything's downloaded, you have to restart to install the updates. And it was almost the same process. Instead of having big blue screen, we are updating your system, it was up in the upper right hand corner, and it was counting down. And I thought Linux was better than that, but
well, Ubuntu and Ubuntu-based systems, the updates are fairly straightforward. You may have to reboot once, once out of 10 updates or whatever, but it's pretty fast, pretty straightforward. It's one set of updates. You're good. There's not multiple rebooting like Windows. It's fairly quick. I don't have any. Of course, I haven't had any issues in Windows. Just the fact that it takes time. Nothing's been broken in my Windows machines. It just takes time. So, and that's what I don't like. So I try to use Linux as much as I can. I used Skype and Windows today because of the recording feature built in, which is nice and easy to use, and it works. Stephanie is over 4,000 miles away as we did the recording, and it works. I'll give Microsoft credit. They have the ability to do wonderful things, But Windows 10 just got a little bit too complicated, and it's not as fun as Windows 7 was. So, welcome everybody here again in the live chat. Yes, today's St. Paddy's Day. Luck of the Irish. Have a beer on me, as the song says, or have a drink on me from AC/DC. But no. But if we have any newbies here in the live chat and have a question or comment, please do. I'm probably going to wrap this up here in about 10 minutes. It'll be a short one today. But I don't know. For the foreseeable future, I do not see a national Linux desktop. And it could be 5 years from now till we see or hear any news. I hope I'm totally wrong. I really do.
Well, it's like I work with a bunch of 20-somethings. I mean, I've got 40 years on all these kids. But because I'm the cool old guy who's into tech, I mean, I've helped them do upgrades and all kinds of other stuff. So I talk to them about Linux all the time. I work part of my day from home. I can log in Linux using Remina into our Windows computers. Works fine. It actually works faster than the Windows remote login. And I talk to them about Linux, and their first remark every time is, "Yeah, but can you game on it well?" And there are a lot of games that aren't going to work on it because that's all that age group is really interested. They use their phones and tablets to do all their streaming and everything else. If they've got a computer at that age, it's because they're playing games on it.
Windows still dominates when it comes to game. They know how to do it. When I upgraded Windows 10 on my dual core machine, that's now what, 8 years old. It plays certain games fine. I was really impressed. I got to give them credit. They know how to do the gaming. You
know how much time these kids actually spend playing games? It's ridiculously high.
Oh yeah,
it's a disease that's been characterized as a health problem from the World Health Organization. Yeah, it's bad.
These kids are out playing football and basketball and everything else in the yard, and they're spending days in a row in a room with all the lights out trying to shoot somebody from overseas in a tank.
Well, it's like we've got, as I was saying on Steve's podcast earlier, I've got 7 computers in the house, and plus an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4, and a PS3 hanger. If we get all the grandkids over, that's the first thing they do. They just head to all the electronics. It's like, see you later.
Yeah, I mean, I can see if it's wintertime, the weather's crappy outside, it's
this is the middle of summer, too.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Don't you guys want to go outside? I mean, we live out here in the boondocks. There's woods.
I'm out. I'm swimming, jogging, tennis. I'm hanging out with my friends or where the ladies are, man. That's where I want to go. I don't want to be inside looking at a fake, tank shooting something. A
lot of my second cousins, I don't have a working relationship with them because every time I go over to their house for Christmas or whatever it is, they're locked in their room playing a video game.
Yeah,
which is kind of sad.
Well, it's like when you go out to, if you go out to eat and you turn around and you just look at any of the tables around, everybody's going. No one's actually talking to the person sitting two feet away.
I know. We become robots.
Yep.
I notice when I go out to dinner, I'll see people, and I'll do it sometimes, but, I'll check my, all right, like today I was on a Skype call and my dad was calling in from Rome. Well, I had to take the call. He's over there. I said, Stephanie, hang on, and it was about legal stuff about the movie, so I took the call, and she understood. That I can understand. But normally you don't have to be, tied into your phone. It's not good. It's not good for social skills and being courteous and, David says, true smartphone zombies. Really, I know.
At the same time, like they're I have a brother who never calls, right? So, but if he calls and I'm at the grocery store line, I'm gonna answer because my brother's not gonna call me again. I'm gonna answer the phone, and people don't understand that, and so we have to be a little bit allowing in life. But at the same time, like you said, you try to be aware of it, and you just only when it's important.
Well, when my dad called, he mentioned what was going on. I said, okay. And Stephanie was nice too. I said, let me call you back in a couple. I'm with my friend from Germany. He says, okay, call me back. That's it. You don't have to be on it or in the line, waiting in line when your brother calls. You can say, let me call you right back. You could be nice and courteous, pick up the phone and be nice and courteous. But people don't realize that when you're at a McDonald's and they're on with their Bluetooth and they're talking, everybody can hear. They're talking loud, but they're not cognizant of what's going on. So, when the phone rings, I'm at a restaurant or Brooklyn Bagel having the phone rings, I have to answer it. I'll answer the phone. I'll say, okay, let me call you back after I finish my bagel. No big deal. But if you do the conversation, your voice naturally tends to go a little higher. Can you hear me now? Now, everybody in the restaurant hears you. That is so, right?
Well, I mean, do you try to keep your voice down? Because that's easy.
I tried, but then I'm like, oh, you can't hear me because of the noise. Okay, and then I say, all right, I will call you back. No problem. Obviously. Now, if it's quiet, you can go quiet. If it's noisy, then you got to scream. And then it's just a mess. So, anyway, but yeah, as far as that goes, being stuck to your technology, it's I could see in the wintertime, I kind of get it, playing the games, this and that. But in the summertime, I want to be out, with nature. So, anyway, okay, let's give this a 5-minute warning. We're going to wrap this up at 2 o'clock. Again, if we have any new people here in the live chat, have a question, please do stop by and say hello. We had a couple or two people on last night. It was nice. Somebody asked, is this an open chat? Not for this one. It was open chat last night. If you would like to support the work that we do, you can through Patreon or PayPal. Anybody who supports the channel, you are automatically invited. So, to these shorter ones. Yeah, I've stopped doing multiple 2-3 hour shows on the weekends. It was just exhausting, I'll be honest. So, I try to do one public and one, and one private chat. So, Clayton, it is 4:44 a.m. for you. You've been up all night playing games, Clayton. Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, yeah.
When you talk about a national Linux, I guess I've really never asked this. When you talk about a national Linux, and since I'm the newbie here, I'll ask the dumb questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you talk about a national Linux, does this just basically mean a largely supported one that everyone can get involved in?
All right. A national Linux desktop would be, you have hundreds or maybe thousands of choices with Linux, with all the offshoots. Let's pick one. Let's say Ubuntu or Linux Mint, if you like Linux Mint. Let's let a company make it, pre-built it, pre-package it with that specific Linux distribution, pre-tested with no bugs, and sell it on the market, a desktop, a modest desktop for about $400. And everything works out of the box. You don't have to fix anything or solve a puzzle. That's what we mean. Like you would buy a Windows machine.
Right.
It's ready to go. Or an Apple machine. Yeah.
It meant something to compete with Windows.
Yeah.
Probably even much better than Windows.
Option.
Right. Because you have Windows that a lot of people aren't happy with the updates and the politics. You can go to Apple, but that's like $2,000. There's nothing in between. And that's what we want. So that's what I want. But with Google's news cutting back on their staffing for the Google hardware and other projects, it doesn't look good. I hope I'm wrong. Now, there are other companies with the resources like Amazon. If they want to do it, why not? Or even Microsoft if they want to do it. I know, Microsoft, but yeah. So that's what the conversations is about. I think they'll be fine. Google's fine with their Pixelbook and Chromebooks.
They're just walking back and taking a look at the numbers and seeing what really works.
That's my guess. It's just news I really didn't want to hear because we've been talking about it, So
it ain't going to bring Google money.
Yeah, right. And Sergey says Dell produces laptops with Ubuntu. Sure. Again, Google with the Chromebook starting at $200. Nobody can beat that price. Now, if you want the nice machine, it runs about $1,000. That's about the average, and that's still cheaper than Apple. So when people are saying, "Well, the Google products are overpriced," that's what I said about Apple. People are buying them anyway. It's evidently not. Zarizen 76 Stage Slimbook Los Alamos. Again, I'm not seeing a $400 Linux desktop in the store, Sergey. That's where the mom and pops who have busy lives on the weekends maybe go shopping. Oh, honey, look at this. That's where it needs to be. I'm not talking about the $1,000 machines or $2,000 machines. That's not what I want. Because people who are on a budget, I'm not going to buy that. They're going to just stick with their Windows machine. Or buy a $200 Chromebook. Pixelbook is an excellent example of a superb Linux-powered machine. You buy that, and that thing will last you 10 years with updates easily. Apple will not give you that, and you're going to pay double for what the Pixelbook does. Tablet, laptop, Android OS, Chrome, dual booting maybe is coming. Linux apps. You think Apple's going to give you that for $1,000? They're going to say, forget about it.
If you take a decade from a household that uses Apple products and you add up what they paid for all their Apple products throughout a decade, it would be alarming.
If you compare what you get from Apple, and it's good stuff, and what people are telling me, and our friend Stephanie, it's good stuff, you pay for it. And then you look at the Pixelbook and look at the pricing. Pixelbook is a steal. Compared to you'd have to pay comparably, which you can't get. Let's say you could with Apple, it would be double, triple the price with Apple. So the Pixelbook at $850 is a steal for what it does.
There are a lot of people at my work over the past 6 months. All of a sudden, the majority of them seem to love Apple phones. They all have like the new iPhone 10s or whatever it is, the X's or something. And it's like, really, if you're going to spend that much money on it?
Well,
I mean, I've got a nice Moto 6 I just bought for $190.
I know.
Works
know.
fine for me.
I know. I mean, it's I don't have a Pixel book because I don't have the budget for it. But if I did have the budget, I would buy it, knowing I would use it maybe for the live shows. It's powerful enough, and knowing this thing with updates, I'll be fine for the next 10 years, man, easily.
Yeah. My wife's got a nice Acer Chromebook 15. I think I paid $350 for it on sale, and it's like no problems. Pop open the lid, you just use it.
Yes.
She's happy with it. Doesn't have to call me going, hey, can you figure this? How come this isn't working? This doesn't work. This driver says it needs this. It just automatically updates in the background. She turns it on. She uses it.
Yeah. Peabody says System 76 is pricey, but premium hardware with Linux built in. That's fine, but it's not going to sub. But again, we still have 98% market share between Windows and Apple. It's not fixing the issue. And nothing against System 76. They make good products, what I heard. But they make premium products. We already have a premium maker. That's Apple. I don't want another one. Chromebooks, Pixelbooks are a premium,
It'd be
product.
Interesting to know how many sales they actually have out of their 76 laptops.
I guess they're doing okay. They've been around over 10 years. I guess they're doing okay.
Well, they're not losing money on it.
No. I think Brian Lunduk only used it because he's being sponsored by them, and nothing wrong with that. I'm sure they're fine products, but between $1,000 and $2,000 or higher, we already have those machines. They're called Apples, Macs, whatever. So we don't need another one like that. We need to fill that, edge up that 2% Linux desktop market share with an affordable, low-spec machine to get started, just to prove to the people Linux can be easy. It can be easy. It's not like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago.
The unintended effect will eventually bring the prices down. As soon as a Linux would be bigger, it would bring the prices of Apple and Windows
competition
down.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah,
competition.
I mean, that's a good thing, but still, I do think Linux would still be a better product, but
anyway,
for many other reasons.
Yes. So, all right, final comments call for this, and I might go out and enjoy some of the sunshine, work on my tan like I need it, I just realized I didn't shave this morning. Oh, well. Anyway.
Me either.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because someone was saying I was giving a bad echo, and all the microphones
there is
turned on in
echo.
Fedora.
Is there? Okay.
I keep changing it, but I guess another reason not to use Fedora.
Hey, Toss, aren't you going to a Gambino funeral today?
Yeah, that's where I'll be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I need all the privacy I need, so I'll bring my Google Chromebook.
Yeah.
It's going to fly incognito to Staten Island.
Right, yes. They got to respect the family, okay? Peabody says, can you make money building a machine for $400? Google's making money building a machine for $200. You can, but it has to be low spec. It can't be a gaming rig, obviously. But quad core, 4 gigs of RAM, maybe no disk drive, of course you can. Yeah, again, it won't be a lot of money, but just enough to get it out there. And once it sells, and then people realize Linux can work. Now the next machine will be a $800 or $1,000 gaming Ubuntu machine. You see where this leads to? You have to plant the seed and prove to the people it's worth it. Just like Apple with the iPhone. When it first came out, it was expensive. But it worked. It worked the way it was meant to. Mac machines, Apple, they're expensive, but it works. People don't need to be, you don't have to prove to the people that Apple machines work in spite of their price. That's the same with the Linux machine. Let them prove it to them that an Ubuntu machine or whatever can work, even at $400. If a Chromebook can work at $200, anyway. But that's my thoughts. So yeah. It would be nice if Dell offered their consumer at a small discount with Ubuntu. I don't think they do, Steve. So, all right. Are there any other comments here on the panel or questions here on the chat? Because I'm going to wrap this up. I think we're all caught up. Okay. I think we're all caught up with the comments. Okay, CJ, are you on Linux Mint? I lost track. What are you using now?
Here right now I'm on On this computer, I'm on Windows 10.
Okay. No, what were you
Sorry.
messing with? No, that's fine. What were you messing with before? I lost track.
The other day, I
Yeah.
was able to download the ISO for Peppermint.
Ah,
Actually,
okay.
we have Peppermint in the house. I see them all.
Very good. I usually have my peppermint tea in the morning, but I did not have any tea this morning. I just had water. Oh well.
I still haven't fooled with it yet, but I did do it
Okay.
the other day when
Okay.
I had time to do it. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, on that, I'm going to wrap this up for today for this Sunday chatting. And if you missed any of this, replay it once it's finalized processing from Google. Look for the next news nonsense chat I did with Stephanie. We talked about the Linux desktop and what she thought of it. That should be interesting. So be on the lookout for that this week. Check out Stephanie's channel on YouTube, and again, I think she will probably post a new song this week if she has time. So check that out. And I'll try to, maybe if we have time with her next week, I'll try to convince her to do a little mini concert for us. So
That song she did the other day that you posted was a great song. The No Way, Not Today.
No, not
song
today.
was a good song. I had that
Yeah.
stuck in my head the rest of the day. That was a great
you know
song.
what? I was playing it on YouTube so much. I just bought the song. I gave her $5 for one. You know what? And it's a pre-production song. It's not in the studio polished. You know, since you're a musician, but it was good enough. And she used a $20 mic and it worked. That she won't use that mic in the studio.
Yeah, I
you
was
know.
surprised because I think
Yeah.
you said it was a $20 mic. Like, that
And I
sounded
think
really
that's
good.
why she posts, because it was good enough for YouTube. You know what I mean, for that song. And yeah, that song is. And I joked today. No, not today. Yeah, I get that a lot, Stephanie. You know, but no. Anyway, all right. So that's all I have. So I'm going to edit that Skype call sometime this week, and anyway, we'll get together next weekend. Again, so this was fun. If you missed any of this, replay it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. If you want to support the channel, the link's below in the show notes. And have fun with whatever you use, whether it's Apple, Linux, or Windows. And may the updates force be with you. So, oh, wow. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good week. I'll catch you later.
Take care, fellas.
Later,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.